All right, if we have any first students, we have a section reserved right up front for you. Everyone else, if you could collect in. We're on a tight schedule with the governor inbound right now, as you can imagine. All right, well, welcome to Michigan Robotics Day. We're quite excited to be here at the big house. Although I had a quandary, I started to get dressed today and I went to get my favorite red tie. And then I thought about it. I said, you know, it's not a real good idea as a Michigan alumnus to wear anything red in the big house. We know that that's generally frowned upon. So I adjusted my attire accordingly. Um, my name is Phil Callihan, and I'm with the National Center for Manufacturing Sciences. We're a co-host of this event with the University of Michigan. Want to welcome you again to this great venue. Michigan Robotics Day. This is our third year of the Michigan Robotics Day, and every year it's doubled in size. And that's a real testament to the robotics community here in Michigan. A little bit about National Robotics Week. National Robotics Week is an event that wants to promote STEM education, promote robotics across the nation, promote awareness on all the great things that industry and academia is doing to promote robotics, to help grow jobs, to help grow our economy. We want to welcome you as you're here. We have a hashtag if you're going to be on Twitter. It's MIRoboDay. You're going to see it on your agendas. You'll see it on your name tag. You'll see it on the materials as you go out. We encourage you to tweet and to post on Facebook to let everybody know that you're here. We also have a page on Facebook, Michigan Robotics Day. So we hope that you'll like us there and you'll be able to get information. As an attendee to this event, you'll be getting updates throughout the year on robotics events that happen here in the state. You'll get updates about this event. We hope to be back next year. You know, it's really great to be here at the big house, especially for me as a Michigan alum. There was a famous coach who used to prowl the sidelines here that used to say, the team, the team, the team. Well, that's really what this event is about. This event is about bringing together all the different aspects of robotics here in Michigan. We have, of course, the University of Michigan, which is the co-host here. We have other universities here. We have FIRST Robotics represented here. We have industry. We have nonprofits. We have the maker community represented here. And the thing that we at the National Center for Manufacturing Sciences believe is it'll take all of us collaborating, all of us working together as a team so that Michigan can be a global leader in robotics. And we're really glad that you're here. We'll hope that you'll get a lot from meeting each other. We have a ton of great events scheduled today, a ton of great demonstrations. It looks like the weather is going to hold for us, so we'll actually be able to do our outdoor demonstrations. You'll see we have an area over here that's allocated for actually ground demonstrations. You're going to see robotics rolling in and out. So when it comes time to go through the exhibits, just to give you kind of the lay of the land, the hallway over here are high school robotics. The center right here are nonprofits and industry. And the far hallway are universities. So as you're going through and looking at things, that'll give you an idea of what you're going to find. Here in Michigan, we have a lot of strengths in robotics, but there's not always a lot of awareness nationally for what we're good at. You know, there are a lot of other areas that get a lot of press and are basically in the national awareness for doing robotics, but we've been doing robotics and automation for over a quarter of a century here. We have some of the leading companies in the globe doing things right here in Michigan. But the thing that we need to remember is that yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. And we need to pull together to make sure that Michigan has the best opportunity to be a global leader in this industry moving forward. As robotics move from the factory and from behind the scenes out to the consumer space, uh, we really have a lot to bring. Everyone here has a lot to bring to that. The first students here, you really have a bright future in robotics, and you're just at the beginning of it. If you can think about the amazing things, it's amazing what we have now, but imagining what's going to happen in 5, 10, or 15 years. Look at the cell phone. Look at what a cell phone was 15 years ago, and imagine what a cell phone is now. There was a great meme on the internet that showed all the different things. It showed a huge video camera, huge recording equipment, all these different things, and it said, "Now, a phone," and everything is right in your hand, in the hand of your pocket. So, if we think about the advances that are going to happen in robotics, we're going to see a similar thing. We're going to see them every day in our everyday life, and the people here are the people who are going to bring those innovations to bear. So, as we're thinking about what we want to do as a state, we need to remember that, Tesla didn't ask the automakers of Detroit if it was okay if they built an electric car. They just did it. The guys at Google, when they were just two guys in a dorm room, didn't ask Microsoft if it was okay if they would totally flip over the computer industry. So we need to think about what we're going to do. We need to target what makes sense for us, and we need to move forward in that. There are over 200 RoboWeek events, and in only our third year, this event has been recognized as one of the top in the nation. And that's not because of us, that's because of the team that you guys represent. All of the great work that you're doing as researchers, all the great work that you're doing as students and educators, it's really being noticed nationally, and I know that everybody here appreciates the work that you're doing and appreciates the future that you represent. Now, you may have heard we have a special guest today. Governor Snyder is going to be speaking in just a few minutes. As you came in, there were 3x5 cards, and the governor is encouraging questions, but the questions will need to come in on those 3x5 cards. So as we get closer, actually we have someone collecting them right now. We want to have those queued up. If your card is ready, hand them in. If you need a card, wave over and someone will hand it to it. We want to do the cards that will help us get through the most questions as quickly as we can. You also may have heard that Michigan is moving forward on autonomous vehicle licensing. And when we organize this event is about making things. This event is about changing things. And one of the things that came from one of the first events a couple years ago was that Michigan should be at the forefront of autonomous vehicle licensing. So we brought together people in this room, we brought together different people in the community, and we've helped in promoting that. And when you hear Michigan passing autonomous vehicle licensing, hopefully this week, it was part of this event. And we assume that there are going to be, or we anticipate, there are going to be similar outgrowths of this event. So understand that this isn't just something that you're sitting and watching. Changes are coming from this event, and you're all part of it. So, as we wait, some questions about the event. It's doubled in size every year. Our first event was over at the National Center for Manufacturing Sciences, and we completely filled the place. And then U of M became our partner last year, and we completely filled a space up on North Campus. And now we're completely filling the big house. It was funny because after last year's event, the president of NCMS looked at me as we were walking out and said, "Well, this is great. You might need Ford Field next year." And I kind of laughed, and so about halfway through the planning process, I went to him and I said, "Rick, I have good news and I have bad news. Which would you like?" And he said, "Well, give it to me straight." I said, "Well, the bad news is we're not going to be at Ford Field." I said, "The good news is we're going to someplace a little bigger." So here we are at the big house. And I'm already starting to worry about what we're going to have to do for next year to top this. But I know working together, we'll be able to do that. Right now, I'm going to introduce Rick Jarman, and he will lead us into the government.